Hello, Blabberman coming at you live on Blabbertube Radio. Do a quick show here, then I gotta clean my apartment here. I'm coming to you live from Nikolaev, Ukraine. I clean my apartment today, and then I gotta clean it last day Thursday. I get 6 days to come back to Alabama. I fly back to Alabama. I'm come back here in August. I stay 3 months, get some stuff really going, get stuff together. And then I'm coming back here to see my woman in August. Hopefully, I can get her U.S. visa, bring her back to Alabama. Alabama, Miss Bama country. I guess you had the NFL draft, and you know what, man? I've stopped. I'm not watching NFL anymore. I'm not watching NCAA. I've always been wanting to do this. I'm gonna finally do it. I've always classified three different kinds of people in this world: creators, players, and watchers. That's basically how I sum up most everybody in the world. Everybody has a different order. Everybody follows a different order. Some people prefer to be creators. Some people prefer to be, some people prefer to create the game. Some people prefer to play the game. Most of the people prefer to watch the game. Most people want to watch, you know. And the way I classify myself, I'm a creator first, player second, watcher, never more. Watcher is a fan. A watcher is a follower. The creators and players, the creators are the leaders. The players are the warriors, and the watchers are the followers. I don't want to follow. I'm not. I'm done following. So I'm a watcher, never more. I'm gonna get into what I want to get into. I get into what my friends are into. If I personally know people, I'll be a fans of people I personally know. I'm personal friends with. If I'm not, like I don't give a damn about anybody in the NFL. I don't know any of them, so I'm not. I'm not gonna watch. I don't care about it. I don't. I mean, I said I don't care about them. I don't know them. I'm gonna put more of my effort in the people I know personally. You know, so that's where it's gonna be. I'm gonna be a fan of my stuff, what I do from now on. It's about time. You know. So it's just unless I own a sports bar, unless I'm into gambling, like gambling on sports, it doesn't do anything good to me to watch. It doesn't do me personally any good. I don't care how many yards Brady throws for. I mean, what does that have to do with my life? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's got his life. He's got his wife. He's got his kids. He's got his happy life. My life isn't gonna get any happier watching his life get happier. Okay, it's not gonna. No, it doesn't work that way with me. So I don't even care. I'm not watching any more NFL games. Like I said, I'm a fan of myself. I'm inventing my own game. I want to start getting that going. I'm inventing my own way of playing football. I'm gonna start spending time on that. I'm gonna spend all my time on what I want to do. No more wasting any more time watching NFL. No more wasting time. I don't give a damn. Pop music scene or whatever. Unless like I said, I'm gonna be a fan of my friends. Well, my friends' bands, I'll be a friend of theirs, and the people I personally know. That's how it's gonna be from now on. From this day forward, that's the way it's gonna be. So that's that. That's that. Another thing is, I'm gonna try not to do any more shows when I've had too much to drink because I had to raise some because I went back and I do a radio thing too, and I gotta stop doing that. I want to start. I don't want to make enemies. I'm not on here to make enemies. And the way I was talking, I'm gonna make. I don't want to make enemies. You're better off having more people like you than hate you, of course. You know. So I'm not gonna stay away from that. I'm just gonna talk about my life and stuff and keep it sweet. I'm gonna keep it simple, keep it sweet out here. One thing I do want to say though, I'm over in Ukraine, like I said, and I met these two cops. They're Ukrainian cops. I met them. We're friends now. I got the guy's phone number. Saw him again yesterday. He said, "Hey man, you need anything? Just call me." He says, he's like, these guys are military guys, and you know. But anyway, I was talking to him a couple days ago. I met him in this. I was out in this outdoor patio. Ukraine's got like I said before, you want to come here in May. May 1st is when you want to get here. That's when it's the most fun. That's when all the outdoor patios open up, beer gardens open up. They have a lot of them here. They're everywhere. So I met them in a beer garden. These two they're off duty. They're cops and Ukraine police. So we just start talking, and they want to know about the United States, and I told them it's not as free as you think it is. It's a communist country. The United States is a communist country. It's controlled by a mother government. That's the initial reason you have one mother government. Soviet Union broke up. See, Russia, they don't have their government anymore. They broke up in the Cold War. And to tell you the truth, if we wanted to be fair, the United States should have broke up their mother government. You know, so we tricked the Soviet Union. The United States tricked the Soviet Union. I think two things happened with the Soviet Union. Either it broke apart from the inside, or the United States just. I think it broke apart from the inside. I think the Soviet Union broke apart from the inside, because you know what happened. Okay, when you know the Soviet Union, the members of the Soviet Union, they ran things for the government. Well, I think they started thinking about how it worked in the United States, where if you can own what you run, you can make more money. So I think a lot of these guys in the Soviet Union wanted to break apart so they could now own what they were running. Like, say, the Department of Education. You had a guy in communism. You had the guy working for the government running education. Well, he figured, well, if I can own a damn thing, or like say utilities. You had the guy who was running the utilities for the government in the Soviet Union. He figured, well, if I can own the utilities, I can make a lot more money. I think that's what happened to the Soviet Union. I think it broke apart from the inside. And so. But what else was I gonna say? But here's what I was thinking. Okay, like Al Capone. They never threw him in jail for all the murders he committed, all the crimes he committed. He got thrown in jail because he didn't give the United Soviet Union States government their money. I mean, think how messed up that is. Okay, Al Capone, they knew he killed all these people, he racketeering, he did all these crimes, prostitution. He never got thrown in jail for any of that stuff. He gets thrown in jail because he didn't pay the the Union States Soviet government their money. Stop and think about that once. A lot of people, that's happened to them. They don't get thrown in jail for their crime of like murder and stuff. A lot of these, mafia and other people, they get thrown in jail because they don't pay their income taxes. You know, they don't give the mother government their freaking money. Think how messed up that is. I started. I just came up with that when I told him. I started thinking about that. That is messed up. That is messed up with Al Capone. He should have been thrown in jail for murder. Not didn't give the government their money. So it tells you the United States mother government, communist government, they care more about their money than anything else. They don't care about people commit. They care more about getting their money, their communist money, their blood money. That's what it is. Income tax. It's blood money. And one thing I don't like about income taxes. See, I live in Alabama. I love Alabama. If I'm going to work, I want all my money going to Alabama. I want all my tax dollars going to the state I live in. Actually, the city I live in. It makes sense. Like, I mean, and I have my woman coming over here. And as far as I'm concerned, if she wants to go to visit California, we will. But as far as I'm concerned, I could care less about California. I don't care any more about going to California than I do going to, Afghanistan. And like I don't care to ever go to California. I really don't care ever to see it. So why do I want my money going there? I'm not. It's not going to benefit me one bit. Oh, what else? I don't see anything else. So anyway, I'm here 6 more days. I'm gonna fly out back to Bama. I just hope I get through New York. Last time I had trouble getting through JFK. Same thing's probably gonna happen. I hope I get through. Whew. Anyway, I'm going out with my woman tonight. My woman over here in Ukraine. We're going out. So see how that goes. I've only been, I've only met her I met her like 4 weeks ago. So there's there's no such thing as gonna be it's gonna be, I don't know, I'm not gonna say anything about it. But anyway, so I'm gonna clean my apartment here. I'm gonna get a good clean, and then I always clean really well the last day before I leave, because I'm gonna mess it up again. So I always wait till the last day before I leave, which will be Friday. Then I'll clean this place from top to bottom, because I want to respect my landlord. I want to leave a good impression. Don't want to burn bridges. So, that's the way I do things now. So anything else I was gonna say? Hey, I'm not voting this year. I'm not voting. I'm not voting. I don't like any. I don't like any of these assholes. I hate all politicians. I hate all politicians. I'm not voting. I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for anybody. They're not worth it. Like I said, I'm not. If you vote, you're a follower. Basically, I'm not following anymore. I'm getting out of the way. I'm going out to the Bama backwoods, Mid Bama country. I'm gonna do a campground out there, members only campground, private campground, totally hidden. The only way you're gonna know about it is I let you know about it. That's the way I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna get out of the way. I'm gonna have my bonfires. I'm gonna have my freaking babes. I'm gonna have my bikini. I'm gonna have my beaches. I'm gonna have my everything that starts with a B is gonna be out there. My barbecue. I'm gonna get out of the way. That's my plan. I'm not voting. Fuck voting. Fuck being a follower anymore. I'm not following these worthless leaders, these idiot politicians. They're all dipshits. They're all dumbasses. They're all scumbags. I mean, enough of it. I don't give a damn about any of them. They're all bad people. And even if they're not bad, once they get sucked into the system, they're gonna turn bad. I mean, that's just the way it works. You can know a guy, he's the nicest guy in the world, but once he gets sucked into that system, the government system, he's gonna turn into your fucking enemy. All right, that's what happens. It's like going to the dark side. When someone becomes a politician and joins the government, he goes to the dark side. That's the best way to put it. Okay, he, the government represents Satan. They represent the devil. Going into the government is like going to fucking hell. Okay, that's what it's like for me. So fuck them. I don't want to go to hell. I don't want any part of the government. Government is equal to hell. People that join, like I said, they join the government. Once they join the government, they go to the fucking dark side. There's no light side on the government. There is no light side. You know, I mean, like I said, the United States is it's communism. The U.S. Constitution is a communist rag. Okay, I mean, you know, it's all in the name, right? You got during the Civil War, you had the Union States, and then you had the Soviet Union states, the Union States of America, the Soviet Union States of Russia. Same thing. It's the same freaking purpose, same freaking thing. Okay, and then back in the before we had then you had the independent Confederate States of America are like Ukraine. It's like the independent state of Ukraine. They are they're alike. And then you had the Union States of America and the Soviet Union States of Russia were they're the same thing. You know, communists are leftists. Communists are liberals, man. They are. I mean, Russia is liberal because they want to control everything. And it's like, I mean, the only reason the Confederates lost the war, they were outnumbered 2-1. The reason Ukraine lost the war to Russia, they were outnumbered 2-1. That's the reason the Confederate States, the independent Confederate States, they were overtaken by the Union States Communist Government of America. And that's what we live under. Now we're going to be under one flag, just like the fucking Nazis. So, I mean, so, yeah, what else was I going to say? But, God dang it. But that's just it. You know, like the U.S. Constitution. Okay, I shouldn't need a piece of paper written by a communist government telling me what I can and cannot do. That's communism. That's what the U.S. It's a communist rag. I should give myself the right to bear arms. I give myself the right to, freedom of speech. I give myself these rights. I shouldn't need a communist document like the U.S. Constitution made up by a communist government to grant me these rights. You're getting these rights granted to you by the United States Communist government, much like you did when the United Kingdom ran things. There's no difference between the United Kingdom and the United States. You just replace states with kingdom, or you replace kingdom with states. United Kingdom, United States, United Kingdom, United States. You see the similarities? The Union States, the Soviet Union States, the Union States of America, the Soviet Union States, the United Union States. That's what the Union won. The Communist Union States of America won the Civil War. They had the right to name the country. Okay, and the United Union. Those are definitions of communism. United Union. That United is just a sweeter way of saying it. The reason they call it United States, it sounds friendlier. It sounds nicer than Union States. Union States to the world would sound much harsher. It's all in the name. It's all what you label something. That's why they changed it to United, because they figured, well, that sounds friendlier. Even though United States means the same fucking communist government as the Union States would mean. United States sounds more pleasant to the ear. That's why they named it United States. It sounds more pleasant, even though, like I said, it's the same as calling it the Soviet Union. That's why people like the Soviet Union. The name was so harsh, and it was Stalin and everything, but it was a lot of it had to do with the name. So if the Soviet Union, it needs a reform. It needs to come back together. It's only fair the Soviet Union they get back together. All they have to do is change the name to the Soviet United States. Call it the Soviet United States. It already sounds better to the world. 99% of the people are watchers in the world, and that's what they go by, labels. 99% of the people, I'd say, no, let's say 22, 25, 75% of the people in the world are watchers. You're watchers. You go by, you're fans. All you have to do is look at a football stadium. You go see a football game. You have two creators. You have one guy. You have two creators that create both teams. Then you have what? How many players you have? You have 22. You know, players. Let's see. Well, you have like, was it 48 players? 44 players in the team. So basically, you have two creators when you go to a football game. You have 88 players, and you have an average of probably 80,000 watchers, 80,000 followers. You know, it's weird how that works, man. Why is everybody a freaking follower or a fan? Well, it's because I don't know. Most 75% of people are just sucked in by labels or sucked in by if it sounds good. It's like, I guess it's like, the way that works is, they manipulate your senses. That's how marketing works. They manipulate your senses. They get you, like, like I said on another show on here, the way your senses work: eyes, ears, nose, mouth. Eyes, ears, nose, mouth. You see things before you hear them. You hear things before you smell them. And you'll smell things before you taste them. That's how your senses work, in that order. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Unless you're blind. If all your senses work, that's the way they work. And that's what the marketers prey on. They prey on your first sense, your eyes. All marketers are going to go, they're going to go by people's eyes. That's what because they go by. Because, like I said, another thing is, in every country speaks a different language, so you really can't use the ears because some people move, they visit a country and they can't speak the language, so, the ears are out, and they can't really read anything, so, that's why, like I said this before, if you go to a restaurant, you look at a menu, you see something on the menu you've never had before, you always say, that looks good, I'm going to have that. That looks good, I'm going to have that. And that's what the marketers prey on. That's why they have, cheap shit has to advertise. The more you advertise something, the cheaper piece of crap it is. Like Walmart, McDonald's, that's why all the cheap franchises, because cheap crap doesn't sell on word of mouth because it's cheap crap. Quality sells by word of mouth. If you make a truly good product, you shouldn't need to advertise it. Your customers are your advertisement. They'll spread the word. You serve good food, the customers will tell their friends, and they tell their friends, and that's how it works. If you have to hire a salesman, that means your stuff isn't worth a damn. If you can't sell your stuff by word of mouth, what you are selling, I'm not buying. I'm not buying. Me personally, I'm not buying. The more I see something advertised, the less I'm going to buy it. The more I see something, I'm on the internet. The more advertising I see of something, the less I'm going to buy it. It's that simple. It just tells me it's a cheap piece of crap. That's all. The more you advertise it, so that's the way I look at it. I've kind of gone back and thought of things. And some things you just can't change. So I'm gonna see if I can do a show tonight with my woman, with my girl over here, my lady, my woman. So I'm gonna see her probably today, tomorrow. One problem I'm having is she doesn't speak English. I don't speak Russian. We have this translator, and he's taking all the damn money, man. I'm getting tired of this guy, man. I had got him to cut his price in half, but I gotta learn the language because I don't want to use them next time I come back. I don't want to use no translators. They're expensive over here. They're real expensive. They're too expensive. They're not worth it. I'm giving him. And I know they're not a team. Everybody's gonna say, "Oh, they're probably working together." No, they're not. They're not. But trust me, I've been with him a long time, and he's an honest guy. And I looked it up anyway. The average translator over here makes $20 an hour. That's the going rate here. I looked it up. I checked it, researched it. The going rate for translators is $20 an hour because it's an important thing over here because Ukraine want foreign investors here because the foreign investors have all the money, so they're gonna need translators, for the foreign investors. So translators are they're one of the most important things over here in Ukraine for their country is to have translators. So if you think about it, you can figure it out yourself. I shouldn't have to tell you. So anyway, gonna go out tonight. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. I can't do much because I want to pay. I got to pay this guy per hour, so I really don't want to do. I'm gonna tell my woman I don't. Because when I come back again in August, I have some. I have a great deal of money coming to me in June. So when I come back here in August, I'm gonna have a lot more money. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have more fun when I see. The thing is, when I came here, I initially planned to meet a different woman. Didn't work out, so I met this woman like 4 weeks ago. I really wasn't planning on meeting her, because the other woman I met here spoke English, but this one doesn't. You know, so I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna see this thing through. The one problem is she's a little young. She's a little. That's the only problem is her age. I really was looking for a woman that was. I'm 48. I was looking for a woman more close to like around 35. That's what I was looking for. I was gonna tell myself I wasn't gonna, go after a woman younger than 35. That's what I was telling myself. I still might do that. I don't know this one here. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out with me and this woman, and that will be the problem because of her age. She's like 20 years younger than me. She'll be 29. I'll be 40. I'm 48. If it doesn't work out between us, then the next woman I'm going to look for is going to be around 35, and she's going to speak English. But this one here, I like her a lot. I like a lot of things about her. Like I really haven't done much in my life. I'm gonna tell you, we've been both kind of sheltered. I've kind of sheltered myself, you know, where her parents sheltered her. Really haven't done much in my life, and she hasn't done much in her life. And now we're at the same where we want to do everything now. When we met each other, it's kind of like kindred spirits. She wants to like do everything now because and I want to do everything. I want to start living. I really haven't lived yet my whole life. I'm 40 years old. I tell you the truth, I really haven't lived. I'm gonna start living, man. Last year, like I said, last year I had a good year because I moved to Alabama, which that changed my life going to Alabama because I met a bunch of talented, cool ass friends. You know, it's the first I've had last year I made more friends than I've ever made in my whole life. You know, so going to Alabama changed my life. That's why I love Bama. It changed my life. I'm looking forward to going back to Bama. So I like the Florida Panhandle. That's the only part of Florida I really like anymore. I still like the Florida Panhandle. Like I said, I like anything north of Gainesville in Florida. I kind of like anything south of Gainesville. I don't care for. So yeah, just kind of tired of South Florida. I don't like it anymore. Like North Florida. It's more. It's like Florida 40 years ago. Like you go to South Florida, like Central Florida. I call Midwestern Florida because you go to Central Florida, it's like a big oversized Midwestern suburb nowadays. And I don't like it anymore. It doesn't feel like Florida there anymore. It feels like I'm in freaking Ohio or Michigan nowadays. It's like screw that. I'm not in the Disney. I call it Dismal World. I'm not into that anymore. I outgrew that a long time ago. I don't have kids, so I don't have kids or a wife. And me personally, going to Disney is kind of, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not into that childish crap anymore. I'd rather go have adult fun in the beach, in the panhandle, adult fun, but nowadays, the problem with that is the beaches are getting lame now. Like all the beaches, like on the panhandle, they're not as fun as they used to be because now they, you know, it's getting too family oriented on all the beaches. Like all the beaches are way too family oriented. All the beach clubs are family oriented now, and I freaking hate that, man. I was in Pensacola at a beach club. It was 10 o'clock at night. There were more kids at the freaking bar than adults. It was freaking terrible, man. I hated it. So all the beaches aren't as that's the problem with the beaches now. They're not as much fun as they used to be. They're all so family oriented now, and it's just unless you have kids that are married, the beach freaking sucks nowadays. It effing sucks. The beach clubs suck. It's like they streamlined all the beach clubs to look like Applebee's. They've made all the beach clubs look like boring Applebee's, look like, boring ass fast food franchise. They're making all these, or like, it's like they're boring now. They're fixing them all up, and they're making them look like family places now. These beach clubs are turning into family places. It freaking sucks. You know, hate going to the beach. You can't do anything. It's like what was legal one year is going to be illegal the next. Got so many cops at the beach now all the time. It's just freaking terrible. You can't relax at the beach anymore. I went down to the beach like last year, and I have a van. I'm sitting in my van, and it's like before you could like drink beer outside your, you could relax at the beach. Go to relax, have a beer, let your stress out. Now it's like you can't do that anymore. You got cops driving everywhere, patrolling everything. You're always paranoid at the beach now because you can't do the free stuff you could do before, because more people move in. I call the masses of asses move in, and someone's gonna have a bug up their ass because they don't like something, and then it's like freaking it sucks now at the beach. I mean, and you don't even see beach babes anymore. They've been replaced by these beach beluga whales, man. You go to the beach nowadays, the average women on the beach is either old or fat or you don't even see hot looking women in Florida on the Panhandle anyway. I remember going through there like 25 years ago. The Florida Panhandle. I can remember, no, it was maybe 20 years ago. It was a lot more fun. You had a lot more gorgeous women on the beach back then. The beach clubs were, you had women actually in bikinis in the behind the bar, and it was sexy going to a beach club. Now you go to a beach club nowadays, it's like going to a freaking Walmart or like stepping into a freaking Applebee's. It sucks. It sucks. So it's like, I don't know, man, if I even want to go to the beach anymore. I think I might go up to Alabama, stay and party on the river or something. You know? There's one, it's like we need to get the beaches back in Florida to being fun. We need to get the family, like just like Vegas, man. We need to put a cap on this family oriented shit. Everything's like family oriented now. They're freaking everywhere. It sucks. I don't want to go to family oriented places because they're freaking boring to me. They're dull. I don't like them. I don't have kids. I'm not looking forward to having any kids. That's why it might not work with this woman because I think she's 29. She probably wants it. But I'm at the age. I never had kids. I don't want any kids. I'm just gonna have fun with her for a little bit, develop a friendship. See how it goes, and then next woman I'll go after will be closer to my age. But I came over here and I wanted to meet a woman. I'm with a woman right now, so I'm gonna, I'm having fun now. I liked her. She's showed me a lot. Maybe maybe she won't want to have kids. I'm gonna ask her. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to have kids. I don't need to have kids. I have plenty of people out there having kids for me. I don't need kids. Plenty of people having them for me. Kids are a want. They're not a need. They really are. You need to eat food to live. You need clothing to live. You need food to live. You don't need kids to live. You can't eat kids unless you're a cannibal. I'm just saying, you don't really need kids to live. You don't need them. They're a want. Kids are a want. They're not a need. It's like you can live without having kids. You can live perfectly well without having kids. You can't live without eating. That's one thing. You'll die if you don't eat. You won't die if you don't have kids. You won't die. Okay? You'll live. You'll live on. Unless you put yourself in depression, because you can't have kids and you commit suicide, that's really the only way you're going to die. Not having kids is not going to kill you. Literally is not going to kill you. Like I said, unless you let it kill you and you kill yourself because you can't have kids. That's the only way it's going to kill you. So it's not, it's more important to eat than have kids. It's more important, if you want to live, it's more important to eat food than have kids if you want to live. So that's a fact. That's a fact. Most people die because they have kids. Women die because they give birth, and they die because the birth goes wrong. So you have a better chance of dying trying to have a kid, having a kid than not having a kid. To think about it. I know that's morbid, but it's true. It's true. Truth is morbid. The truth can be morbid. You gotta be able to handle that part. So any of you out there can't have kids, don't worry about it, man. It's not gonna kill you. You got plenty of people out there having kids for you. I'm not for adopting. I wouldn't adopt kids because I believe that it's something about if it's not your blood. the kids are never going to really respect you as their own. They really aren't. Sometimes they do, but I think the numbers are against it. Because I think the kid's always gonna have a resentment. He's always gonna have a card up his sleeve saying, "Oh, you're not my real dad or mom." They're always gonna have that in the back of their mind if they need to pull it out, and if they need to, they will. I guarantee you. All right, that'll do it for this edition. I better get out of here. Don't want to talk too long. If I start talking too long, I start saying stupid stuff. So maybe I should have stopped talking about 29 minutes ago. All right, well that'll about do it. I'm gonna try to get this. I'm gonna try to do another blog or another thing with my woman tonight. And I'll put it up here like tonight or tomorrow. All right, man. Blabbering out.